So, episode 70 of Pokémon Horizons focused on Tinkatink improving her hammer, and she ended up evolving into Tinkatuff by the end of this episode. Fast forward to episode 109, and it seems that history is about to repeat itself, since this episode clearly will also focus on Tinkatuff improving her hammer. The only question now is, will she also evolve in this episode? Well, yes actually, or at least I think so, and I'm obviously not the only one who does. As always, I cannot give any guarantees, but the odds that we are indeed getting Tinkaton in this episode are quite high. First, there's episode 70, which again is very similar to episode 109, down to the fact that they both have Tinkatink/Tinkatuff and Hammer in their titles, emphasizing that she is the star, the focus, and that making her hammer better is the objective of both episodes. The former, of course, being crucial and necessary if a Pokemon is going to evolve, and the latter being integral to the Tinkatink family, since their hammers are a key part of their identity and battling style. So making their hammer stronger and bigger directly correlates with them also growing stronger and bigger, which can only be accomplished via evolution. One cannot advance without the other. Simply put, an episode focused on Tinkatuff where she improves her hammer can only really culminate in one thing: her evolution, especially since this already happened once before. Second, the title of episode 109 is How Tinkatuff Makes the Ultimate Hammer. The ultimate hammer, which is to say the best hammer, the most powerful hammer, can only refer to Tinkaton's hammer, right? After all, she is the final evolution, the pinnacle and the peak of this evolutionary family. The fact that she is making said hammer basically means that the title is almost straight up confirming that she will evolve. Third, Tinkaton's claim to fame, well, one of them at least, one of the things that made her instantly meme-worthy and recognizable in a hilarious way is that she swings her hammer at rocks to send them into the sky, aiming to hit Flying Corviknight, which is the reason why Flying Taxi in Paldea used Squawkabilly instead of Corviknight. This fun tidbit of information, courtesy of Pokemon Scarlet's Pokédex entry for Tinkaton, single-handedly propelled her into notoriety. So much so, in fact, that the first episode of the Paldean Winds miniseries featured a Tinkaton that went crazy with joy and excitement upon seeing a Corviknight fly by, and she ended up chasing after it. This wasn't an integral part of the episode or anything. It was just to add flavor, to showcase Paldea, the Pokemon that call it home, and their unique quirks. So even the people behind this series know exactly what makes Tinkaton so famous, or infamous from the perspective of Corviknight. Now, why is this relevant to episode 109? Well, because a Corviknight, one that is working as a flying taxi at that, will appear in this episode. I think that it's basically impossible that this is a coincidence, that they would have a Corviknight, a flying taxi Corviknight specifically, appear in an episode that will focus on a Tinkatuff making the ultimate hammer purely by chance. This has to be a deliberate decision made to keep the now iconic legend of Tinkaton being the bane of all Corviknight alive, and not just to keep it alive, but also to highlight it, showcase it, and reference it. Like, is there anything better for a newly evolved Tinkaton to do than knock a Corviknight out of the sky? Though judging by the preview, it seems that she will do this as a Tinkatuff instead, since the preview shows her using Corviknight feathers to improve her hammer. So it seems that the anti-Corviknight tendency will show up before she evolves, and very likely also after she does. However, based on the preview, it's clear that what will actually happen is that she will spot Corviknight, specifically its feathers, which are of course tempered with steel, and as always, whenever she sees anything she can turn into a hammer or use to improve her hammer, she will go out of her way to attain said anything. Her sparkly eyes and the smile and her pointing towards the sky with her hammer are clear proof that this is what will happen. Especially given that the preview also shows her using her hammer to knock a knot into a tree to take down some fruit for a trio of Squabbit. So she already has the skill and the practice needed to knock Corviknight out of the sky. Moreover, since Coral and the Sidian are seen aboard the taxi, and the Coral is later seen attacking Dot and her Pokemon, and the Tinkatuff is seen also using what appears to be part of the actual taxi cart to improve her hammer, basically guarantee that yes, she will take down Corviknight, taxi and passengers included, exemplifying why Corviknight are not used for flying taxis in Paldea, or to attain materials she will use to make her ultimate hammer, which she will then use to battle a likely very angry Coral and perhaps Sidian too. And it's during this battle that she will evolve, presumably because like last time, her newly improved hammer will be far too heavy for her to wield without evolving, and her trainer and the fellow Pokemon will be in grave danger. This time because Coral and the Sidian will likely use strong spheres. Finally, I just want to add two things. First, I love that Gimmighoul will help Tinkatuff upgrade her hammer. It is quite fitting, not only because she has likely helped it gather coins, something that will also lead to evolution, but also because it is a future steel type. Second, and lastly, I do find it unfair that Tinkatuff will reach her final form before Crocalor and Hattrem, who were captured at 33 and 18 episodes respectively before Tinkatink and evolved into their second stage 3 and 17 episodes respectively before she did. I feel that given that they have been around for longer as a whole and in their second evolution than Tinkatuff, they deserve to reach their final form first. Hattrem especially because as a starter, I get them wanting to hold off on having Crocalor evolve. Plus, she is a second Pokemon just like Tinkatuff. Now, I'm not saying that I hate that Tinkatuff will evolve, or that I am against it. I just think that it's not fair, especially because Dot captured the Gimmighoul just 4 episodes ago. I get that we haven't seen much of her since then, but does her team really need another shakeup this soon? I don't think so. But yeah, again, while I cannot guarantee anything, I think Tinkatuff is almost certainly going to evolve in this episode. If she does, then this will of course be an amazing and exciting episode, as well as a funny one given that this is Tinkatuff we're talking about. She is always funny, especially when her love for crafting hammers gets the better of her. Plus, a Tinkaton and a Corviknight together can only lead to something hilarious. Of course, we won't know for sure what will happen until the episode airs on September 5. As always, I will review the episode once it does, so please look forward to that. Also, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Tinkatuff will evolve? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, feel free to click the links on screen. And if you'd like to support the channel and help me keep making content like this, you can find all the ways to do so in the description and in the pinned comment. Whether it's through a small donation or just watching and sharing, every bit of support means the world to me. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.